and good evening, or maybe good night. Wherever you are, curled up in bed, gazing at the ceiling, or just letting the day melt away, I invite you now to leave behind the noise of the world just for a little while. Tonight we journey to a small, strange town nestled deep in the forests of Oregon. A town you won't find on most maps. A place whispered about in cryptic messages covered in moss, shadowed by ancient pines and shimmering with the quiet mystery of the unknown. This is Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is more than just a sleepy mountain town. It's a puzzle box filled with secrets. A place where the ordinary blends into the bizarre, where the line between reality and the supernatural grows thin, and where almost nothing is as it seems. By the time you finish this journey, or perhaps gently drift off into dreams, you'll have uncovered the heart of a story rich with wonder, strange symbols, hidden truths, and unforgettable characters. Our story begins with two 12-year-old twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines. Sent away from their home in California for the summer, the twins are dropped off at the doorstep of their great-uncle, who they quickly learn prefers to be called Grunkle Stan, the cranky yet oddly charming proprietor of the local tourist trap, the Mystery Shack. To outsiders, the Mystery Shack is just that, a shack. A crooked wooden cabin filled with phony attractions, dusty curios, and overpriced snow globes. But within its walls, behind its false doors and creaking floorboards, lies something more. Something old. Something hidden. Something waiting to be found. The beauty of Gravity Falls lies not just in its mystery, but in its atmosphere. The town feels timeless, suspended in the golden glow of endless summer. Its skies are streaked with the deep pinks and oranges of sunsets that seem to last forever. The pine trees sway like they're trying to whisper secrets to one another, and the fog that rolls over the hills, well, it doesn't always come from weather. Sometimes it comes from something else. The woods around Gravity Falls are alive, with glowing eyes watching from the darkness, with creatures you won't find in biology books, and with ancient powers buried beneath the earth. The air hums with static. You might hear whispers at night. You might see symbols carved into stone. You might feel like you're being watched, because maybe you are. But this isn't a horror story, at least not really. It's more of a bedtime mystery, a slow-burning campfire tale told under a starlit sky, with fireflies dancing in the air and marshmallows slowly roasting on sticks. It's about friendship and family. It's about growing up. It's about finding your place in a world that doesn't always make sense. And most of all, it's about learning that the truth isn't always what it seems. Let's go back to that first summer, that very first day. When Dipper finds a strange journal hidden in the woods, its cover marked with a golden hand, 6 fingers, and a bold number seen 3. Inside are warnings, sketches, notes about mysterious creatures and symbols, a record of the unexplainable, a guide to the paranormal. It's this journal that opens the gateway to a world far bigger than the twins expected. Dipper becomes obsessed with decoding its secrets, while Mabel, ever the optimist, full of color and glitter, brings warmth and heart to every dark corner they explore. And as these summer days unfold, Gravity Falls becomes a canvas of interconnected puzzles, each episode revealing just a sliver of a much deeper story. The deeper you look, the more you begin to realize everything is connected. Everything is planned. Every background detail, every coded message, every flicker of a triangle in the corner of the screen. There is something wonderfully nostalgic about Gravity Falls. It captures that exact moment in life when you're old enough to chase mysteries, but still young enough to believe in magic, when summer feels infinite, and every walk in the woods might lead to a hidden cave or a new creature, or something no one has ever seen before. The show itself is a celebration of curiosity. It invites you to ask questions, to notice the patterns, to lean closer and listen, even when things get quiet. Especially when they get quiet. Now, as you begin to relax into this world, let your mind wander a little. Imagine walking through the forests of Gravity Falls at dusk, the last bird song echoing from the trees, a gentle mist rising from the ground. In the distance, the low creak of a weather vane turning. Maybe a fox darting behind a tree stump. Maybe something else. Something with one eye. But you blink, and it's gone. On you, the mystery shack glows in the clearing ahead. Its neon sign flickers softly. The porch light buzzes with sleepy moths, and inside, the twins are probably arguing. Grunkle Stan is watching old TV reruns. Suze is fixing something that probably doesn't need fixing. And Wendy is leaning back in a chair, looking up at the sky, lost in thought. You're safe here. You're welcome here. This is a place where strange is normal and weird is wonderful. Over the next couple of hours, we'll dive into every corner of this incredible story, from the lovable cast of characters, to the cryptic journals, to the ancient evils hiding beneath the surface. We'll travel back in time. We'll follow the clues. We'll unpack the riddles and explore the legends that have made Gravity Falls one of the most beloved animated series of all time. All at a slow, sleepy pace. There's no rush. No need to stay awake for all of it. Just listen, breathe deep, and let the pine-scented wind of Gravity Falls carry you into dream. Close your eyes, if you like. Take a breath. Let the weight of the day fall away. Wherever you are, whatever you've been carrying, whatever thoughts you've been turning over in your mind, this is your time to rest. Tonight, let me take you somewhere far from here. Not just in distance, but in feeling. To a place hidden beneath layers of fog and pine, where reality tilts just slightly off-center, and secrets sleep beneath the soil. That place is called Gravity Falls. It's a town, a very small one. If you blink while driving past the forest road sign, you might miss it entirely. You won't find it in tourist guides or travel books. The population number on the welcome sign never stays the same. No one really knows why. But for those who've been there, even once, they never forget it. Gravity Falls isn't your typical sleepy town. By all appearances, it's quiet, peaceful. Nestled deep in the woods of Oregon, its borders stretch between endless forests and foggy mountain ridges. There are a few houses, a diner, a rundown gas station, a strange public library that always seems to be closed, and of course, at the center of town, a crooked little tourist trap called the Mystery Shack. But the town hums with something different, something old. If you sit still enough, you might hear it. The low whisper of pine trees leaning into one another, or the sound of static that comes from nowhere in particular. Some say the ground underneath Gravity Falls isn't exactly stable. Not geologically, but reality-wise. Like something is off, tilted, caught between dimensions. Time works a little differently here. Sometimes things vanish, only to reappear days later, just where you left them. Sometimes the sky changes color at night. Sometimes people do. For most of the town's sleepy residents, these oddities are just quirks, local legends. Gravity Falls has always been weird and maybe always will be. Most folks don't question it. But every now and then someone does, and that's where our story begins. It was supposed to be a regular summer. Two 12-year-old twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines, were sent by their parents to stay with their great-uncle, a man they'd never really met, in a town they'd never heard of, just for the season. It was meant to be a break. A boring, small-town summer filled with chores, lemonade, and lazy days under the sun. But fate had other plans. Because their great-uncle, or as he insists on being called, Grunkle Stan, is anything but ordinary. Gruff, sarcastic, and always slightly shady, Stan runs the Mystery Shack, a roadside attraction filled with phony cryptids, dusty artifacts, and a gift shop full of overpriced, tacky souvenirs. But Dipper quickly realizes something about the shack and the town itself is off. Too off. One day, while wandering in the woods, he stumbles upon something buried beneath the roots of an old tree. A strange leather-bound book, marked with a golden handprint and the number 3. A journal. Inside, sketches of monsters, charts of strange phenomena, warnings in red ink, and page after page of symbols no child should be able to read. Yet somehow Dipper understands. From that moment on, the world of Gravity Falls opens up like a cracked egg, revealing layers upon layers of hidden truths. The journal becomes a guide, a map, a weapon, and sometimes a curse. Because if Journal 3 exists, what happened to Journals 1 and 2? And more importantly, who wrote them? Mabel, Dipper's twin sister, couldn't be more different. Where Dipper is cautious, logical, and obsessed with solving mysteries, Mabel is a walking burst of glitter and joy. She wears homemade sweaters every day, befriends everyone she meets, and sees magic in things others overlook. But don't mistake her brightness for naivety. Mabel is strong in her own right. Her heart, as it turns out, is the one thing powerful enough to outshine the darkest forces Gravity Falls has to offer. Together, the twins begin to uncover the town's strangest secrets. A gnome colony hiding in plain sight, time travelers in disguise, creatures from alternate dimensions, and relics of a forgotten age where something or someone tried to break through the cracks of our world. And behind all of it, watching from the shadows, is a triangle. Yes, a triangle. With a single unblinking eye. His name is Bill Cipher, but we'll get to him later. For now, just know this. Everything in Gravity Falls is connected. Every whisper, every missing page, every flicker of strange energy, it all points somewhere. And it all begins here. Now take a moment to picture the town for yourself. The golden late afternoon sun bleeds between the tall pine trees, casting long shadows that sway gently with the breeze. The road into town is empty, save for a lone wooden sign, tilted slightly, reading, "Welcome to Gravity Falls." In the distance, you hear the faint call of a blue jay. A few moths dance in the light. Somewhere, the wind chimes of the Mystery Shack jingle lazily. Inside, Mabel is feeding a family of raccoons out of a cereal box. Dipper is buried in the journal again, squinting at a coded message he can almost, but not quite, crack. Grunkle Stan is yelling at the TV about taxes. And above them all, high above the shack, something stirs in the woods, watching. Always watching. Gravity Falls is a place where the supernatural feels natural, where even the strangest things become part of daily life, and where every stone, every tree, every shadow might be more than what it appears. It's the kind of town that exists in the space between waking and sleep, between reason and imagination, between childhood and everything that comes after. And tonight, it's yours to explore. Over the next couple of hours, we'll unravel its story, one gentle piece at a time. We'll meet the characters that make this town so memorable. We'll wander through its woods and hidden rooms. We'll decode its secrets, trace its symbols, and confront the powerful entities lurking just out of sight. All in a way that invites you to relax, breathe deeply, and let go. If you drift off along the way, that's perfectly okay. That's part of the magic. This isn't a race, it's a journey. And Gravity Falls waits for no one. Except maybe you. So now let's go just a little deeper. You're standing on the porch of the Mystery Shack. The wooden boards creak beneath your feet. A carved wooden owl above the doorway stares back with button eyes, chipped from years of weather. The warm yellow glow from inside spills through a moth-covered screen door. You can hear the low hum of an old fan, the static of a boxy TV from the 90s, playing some grainy commercial, and somewhere, a goat bleats from inside the kitchen. Don't worry, that's normal here. This shack isn't just home to fake tourist attractions. It's home to something much older. Older than the Pines family. Older than any living memory in Gravity Falls. Something hidden. Buried in secret rooms and behind fake vending machines. Something people were never supposed to find again. But secrets don't stay buried forever. And the more Dipper explores the journal's warnings, the more he realizes that this sleepy town holds far more than gags and gimmicks. There are patterns, codes, lost histories, and something in the forest is always listening. When people think of Gravity Falls, they often remember the creatures first. The gnomes, the manitors, the multi-bear, or the grim loblins lurking in shadow. But what makes the show so beloved isn't just its monsters. It's its heart. At its core, Gravity Falls is a show about growing up, about trust, and about how families can hold secrets, even from each other. It's about how knowledge can be both a gift and a danger, and how love, especially between siblings, can outshine any darkness. These themes are woven into the town itself, into the way the fog rolls in during moments of doubt, into the way time loops and folds around decisions and regrets, into the way truth is hidden in plain sight. If you look closely, the symbols are everywhere. In the intro, in the books on the shelves, even in the shapes of shadows on the walls. Gravity Falls rewards those who pay attention. But maybe right now you don't need to solve any puzzles. Maybe you just need to feel the story wrap around you like a warm blanket as we prepare to dive into the rest of this strange and beautiful place. Let me paint the picture a little more. Imagine walking through the forest trails just past the shack. The sky is a deep lavender now. The last light of the sun is barely touching the tops of the trees. You walk slowly, carefully, stepping over tree roots and strange mushrooms that glow faintly blue in the shadows. A tree nearby has a face carved into it. Was it always there? A stone path leads you to a clearing. You notice little shapes scuttling out of sight, perhaps a few gnomes playing tag, or some woodland creature that doesn't exist in any real-world encyclopedia. The air smells of pine, moss, and just the faintest whiff of old ink and burnt paper. And that's how the journal smells, too. And beneath your feet, layers and layers of forgotten things, lost symbols, secret bunkers, a UFO, possibly even something older, more alien, and more divine than anything we can name. Gravity Falls is like a dream layered over a conspiracy, stitched together by childhood wonder and grown-up questions that never got answered. But who created this town? Who made it the way it is? The answer depends on how far back you're willing to look. Some say the town's weirdness comes from the magnetic anomalies in the area. Some blame ley lines, those invisible threads of ancient power that cross the earth. Some say it was Bill Cipher himself, long before anyone ever wrote about him. Some say the town's founder, Nathaniel Northwest, wasn't who he said he was, that he was a fraud, that something much stranger was at play from the beginning. And then there are those who believe the real architect of the town's mystery was a man with 6 fingers who vanished from existence, only to be found again years later behind a closed portal. But we'll get to him too, all in time. For now, just know this. Gravity Falls is a town of layers. Each story peels back another one. Each character holds a piece of the puzzle, and every answer only leads to a dozen more questions. Yet even with all that mystery, there's comfort here. There's comfort in the way the show slows down sometimes, in how the stars look over the shack when the characters are asleep, in the way Mabel's laughter cuts through the darkest moment, in how Grunkle Stan, despite all his secrets, always manages to show up when it really counts. There's something incredibly healing about watching these characters navigate the unknown together, about knowing that no matter how weird things get, someone always has someone else's back. And that maybe is what Gravity Falls really teaches us. That even in the strangest, most confusing parts of life, we are not alone. So as we close this introduction, you might be feeling the warmth of the cabin light. You might hear the wind brushing softly against the windows. You might even see the faint outline of a shooting star streaking across the sky above the Pines family's temporary summer home. Maybe you're starting to drift a little. That's okay. Let yourself. This is a safe place to rest. There's nothing here that will harm you. Only stories, only memories, only a little wonder, and a whisper of the unknown. You don't need to solve anything right now. You don't need to keep your eyes open. All the mysteries of Gravity Falls will still be here when you wake. Tonight we'll walk through the lives of the people who made this town what it is. We'll explore ancient journals and encrypted messages. We'll confront nightmares and laugh at raccoons and sweaters. We'll meet triangles that talk, time travelers who argue with vending machines, and children who prove stronger than destiny. And we'll do it together, slowly, sleepily, one pine needle at a time. So take a final breath with me now. Let it out. And when you're ready, we'll begin. Every good story begins with a place, but the best stories, they begin with people. And Gravity Falls is full of them, each one as strange and vivid and unforgettable as the town itself. Some are loud, some are quiet, some are lost, and some are hiding more than they let on. But all of them are part of the strange rhythm of this sleepy town. So now, with the trees whispering above us and the stars blinking slowly into the night sky, let's meet the people who live here. The characters who make this mystery feel like home. Let's begin with the twins. Dipper Pines. His real name is Mason, but no one really calls him that. To the world, and to us, he's just Dipper. He earned the nickname because of the dipper-shaped birthmark hidden under his hair. That birthmark, much like Dipper himself, is a sign of something quietly special, something hidden, but destined to be found. Dipper is 12 years old, curious to the core, and never far from a question. He's the type to notice something out of place in the background when no one else is looking. He's the kind of person who stays up reading just one more chapter, trying to connect the clues no one else even sees. What makes Dipper so compelling isn't just his intelligence, it's his loneliness. His hunger to understand the world comes from a deeper place, a quiet ache to be seen, to matter, to be part of something bigger than himself. In Gravity Falls, Dipper finds that something bigger. He finds mysteries worth solving, pages worth decoding, He finds courage, but more than anything, he finds who he's meant to become. Of course, none of this would work without her. Mabel Pines. Mabel Pines doesn't walk through life. She dances through it. She laughs loudly, wears sparkly sweaters she knits herself, and believes in love at first sight, even if it lasts only a few minutes. She's Dipper's twin sister, older by 5 minutes, but wiser in ways no book can teach. Where Dipper is cautious and calculating, Mabel is instinctual and emotional. She doesn't worry about the mysteries of the universe. She trusts her heart, even when it leads her into ridiculous adventures involving vampire boy bands or sentient bubblegum. But don't be fooled by the glitter. Mabel isn't just comic relief. She's the emotional compass of the show, the heartbeat of the story. Her kindness, her empathy, and her endless optimism are what keep the darker parts of Gravity Falls from swallowing the characters whole. And when faced with real darkness, when tested in ways most kids never are, Mabel doesn't run. She chooses love. Every time. Together, she and Dipper balance each other. He searches for truth. She reminds him why it matters. And side by side, they face every strange twist the town throws at them. Grunkle Stan, Stanley Pines. Grunkle Stan is the first adult you meet in Gravity Falls, and probably the last one you truly understand. He's loud, grumpy, always scheming for a quick buck, and never without his stained fez and crusty old undershirt. He runs the Mystery Shack, but let's be clear, most of the mysteries inside are fake. Shrunken heads made in Taiwan, jackalopes sewn together with hot glue, and a gift shop that'll sell you anything, for a price. But beneath the sarcasm and scams, Stan hides something more. A history, a heartbreak, and the kind of burden that keeps a man up at night, staring into the dark. Throughout the series, Stan slowly reveals himself, not just as a comic figure, but as a deeply flawed, deeply human protector. His love for Dipper and Mabel is quiet, rough around the edges, but absolutely real. He may not show it with hugs or speeches, but he shows it in sacrifices. Some of them so enormous that even the universe takes notice. Grunkle Stan is proof that the past never really leaves us. And that sometimes redemption wears a gold tooth and a permanent scowl. Sus Ramirez. Next is Sus, short for Jesus, but again, no one calls him that. Sus is the Mystery Shack's handyman, though handyman is a loose term. He fixes things, breaks things, builds robot suits, gets chased by gremlins, and always seems to have snacks in his pockets. He's awkward, childlike, genuinely kind. Sus is the older brother Dipper never had, and the little kid Stan never admitted he needed. He doesn't care about fame or fortune or solving cosmic mysteries. He just wants to help. He just wants to belong. And like all the best characters in Gravity Falls, Sus is more than he first appears. He has wounds, too. A missing father, a lonely childhood. But through it all, Sus never lets bitterness win. He's loyal, silly, and unshakably good. If the Mystery Shack is a chaotic family, and it is, then Sus is the glue. The big soft heart that keeps the weird machine running. Wendy Corduroy. Wendy is the teenage cashier at the Mystery Shack. She's effortlessly cool, always relaxed, and never without her iconic green lumberjack hat. She comes from a long line of rugged survivalists. Her dad, Manly Dan, once punched a timber wolf into submission, and Wendy can hold her own with an axe or a snarky comeback. To Dipper, she's more than just a friend. He falls for her hard. She's older, out of reach, and full of a quiet, seen-it-all wisdom that draws people in. But Wendy has her own layers. She's not just cool for cool's sake. She's thoughtful, empathetic, caught in the space between childhood freedom and adult responsibilities. She teaches Dipper more than he realizes, not just about heartbreak, but about acceptance, about friendship, about moving on. Wendy is the wind in the trees, easy to miss if you're not looking, impossible to forget once you notice her. These are just the core voices in the town, but Gravity Falls is full of side characters, each one weirder than the last. We'll get to them soon. There's a mayor who vanishes, a child psychic, a shapeshifter in a cave, a pig that's more important than you think, and a triangle that dreams in static and fire. But those stories come later. For now, as the fireplace crackles and the wind brushes gently against the shack's crooked roof, take a moment to sit with these five, this little unlikely family, a pair of twins, a shady old man, a soft-hearted handyman, and a teenage girl who's already seen more than most. They didn't ask for mystery, but mystery found them anyway. The world of Gravity Falls may orbit around the Mystery Shack, but the town itself is full of strange souls, each one adding to the patchwork quilt of mystery, memory, and magic. Some of them are allies, some are enemies, and some are a little of both. Let's meet a few more. Waddles the pig. Yes, a pig. But not just any pig. Waddles entered the story during the Gravity Falls Fair when Mabel, after winning a psychic guess-your-weight game, chose him as her prize. While others expected her to pick something flashy or fun, Mabel saw something special in the plump, snorting little piglet. And from that moment forward, Waddles was family. He's more than just a pet. He's comfort, he's home. A soft, snuffly reminder that not everything in this town is trying to haunt, trick, or mind control you. Waddles has his own adventures too. Time travel, mind swaps, robot upgrades. But mostly, he's there in the background, quietly representing the gentler, sillier side of this strange world. Every hero needs a companion. For Mabel, it's Waddles. Gideon Gleeful. Next, let's talk about Lil Gideon. At first glance, he's adorable. A tiny, white-haired child psychic who speaks with an exaggerated southern charm and hosts a local TV show. But behind his bow tie and baby face lies something darker. Gideon Gleeful is ambitious, obsessive, and dangerously manipulative. He's also in possession of Journal 2, which he uses to boost his powers and try to expose the secrets of Gravity Falls for his own gain. His obsession with Mabel turns toxic. His rivalry with Dipper becomes increasingly personal, and his desire for control eventually grows into a full-scale battle for the town itself. But as much as Gideon plays the villain, he's also a child, lost in the illusion of power, desperate to prove himself. Beneath the evil grin is a boy who's just afraid of being overlooked. And in Gravity Falls, fear can be a very dangerous thing. Pacifica, Northwest. Every small town has that one family who thinks they're better than everyone else. In Gravity Falls, that family is the Northwests, and their daughter, Pacifica, begins the show as the picture of arrogance, rich, rude, entitled, and always looking down on Mabel and Dipper. But as the series unfolds, something shifts. We begin to see the cracks. Pacifica isn't just acting mean, she's been taught to be that way. Groomed by her controlling parents to care about appearances, money, and being the best, Pacifica lives in a golden cage. It isn't until the town's secrets literally come knocking. Ghosts of her ancestors, locked doors in her mansion, and a legacy of lies that Pacifica begins to change. Slowly she becomes something rare in fiction, a redeemed bully. A girl who learns that her worth isn't in her last name, That kindness matters more than image, and that Mabel might be a real friend after all. Pacifica's transformation is quiet, subtle, but deeply meaningful. Even in a town full of supernatural creatures, one of the most powerful changes is still simply someone choosing to be better. Old Man McGucket. At first, he's comic relief. A wild, bearded lunatic who lives in the junkyard, talks to squirrels, and screams about government conspiracies. He builds nonsense machines, wears pans on his head, and rarely makes sense. But like so many in Gravity Fall, there's more to him than meets the eye. Fiddleford Hadron McGucket, yes, that's his real name, was once a brilliant inventor, a kind, gentle mind. He helped design some of the most important machines in the show's secret history. But the knowledge he gained broke something in him. To protect himself from the painful truths he'd uncovered, McGucket built a memory-erasing device. He used it. Then he used it again, and again, until he forgot who he was, until he became the rambling, crazy old man people laughed at. But he wasn't crazy, not really. He was running from the weight of knowledge, and in a town like Gravity Falls, running never works for long. McGucket's story is bittersweet, a cautionary tale, but also one of healing, redemption, and finally, remembrance. Bill Cipher. Just a whisper for now. We'll dedicate an entire section to him later. But for now, you should know this. He's watching. In dreams, in mirrors, in the corners of your eyes. A yellow triangle with a single eye, a top hat, and a voice like burning velvet. He jokes. He laughs. He twists reality with a snap of his fingers. But beneath the jokes is something ancient, something chaotic, something patient. He is not from here. And when Bill arrives, the story changes. Forever. Ford Pines. For the first half of the series, Ford is only a mystery. The author of the journals. The man who built the portal. The six-fingered hand. The missing piece in so many of the town's puzzles. But when he finally appears, stepping out of the rift between worlds in a swirl of light and noise, we meet someone broken and brilliant. Someone who chased truth so hard, he lost everything else. Stanford Philbrick Pines is Grunkle Stan's long-lost twin brother. A man who valued science over family, exploration over trust. He left home young, hungry to understand the impossible. And when he finally did, the cost was devastating. Ford is a genius, a legend. But also, a man trying to make up for years lost, mistakes made, and warnings ignored. Where Stan buries his pain beneath sarcasm, Ford drowns in it. They are two halves of a broken coin, and the way their relationship unfolds, full of resentment, reconciliation, and raw love, is one of the emotional cores of the entire show. When Ford enters the story, the stakes rise, the mysteries deepen, and the past comes roaring back. These are just a few of the many faces of Gravity Falls. There's Blubbs and Derlin, the surprisingly loving local cops. There's Candy and Grenda, Mabel's loyal and hilarious friends. There's Robbie, the moody teen with a soft side. There's Toby Determined, Sheriff Derland, Tambry, and Lazy Susan. Even Minotaurs, gnomes, and living wax statues all have their part to play. This town may be small, but it holds 1,000 stories, each one breathing, each one waiting. As the fire crackles low, you might find yourself imagining the dusty bulletin board in the back of the Mystery Shack. Pushpins, twine, photographs, names and strings connecting every person in town. It might look chaotic, but it's all part of one story. The story of a town where weird is normal, where people are never quite who they seem, and where even the strangest creature, even the most terrifying villain, is still touched by human feeling. Because in Gravity Falls, character always comes first. Gravity Falls isn't a town you simply visit. It's a place you discover, one strange corner at a time. There are roads that circle back on themselves, lakes that reflect more than just your face, and trees that seem to move, just slightly, when you're not looking. And if you stay here long enough, you'll notice things. Little things. Like how the clouds over the mountains form shapes that almost spell something, or how the shadows in the forest don't always match the light, or how some places on the map are scratched out, like someone didn't want you to find them. But tonight, we'll find them anyway. Because in Gravity Falls, the locations tell the story. Let's begin at the center of it all, the Mystery Shack. From the outside, it looks like your typical roadside attraction. A tacky, slanted cabin with a handmade sign and an unsettlingly lifelike wax sculpture of a lumberjack out front. The windows are dusty. The paint is chipped. The neon flickers overhead like it's unsure if it should stay on. But the shack is more than a gift shop, more than a tourist trap. It's a gateway. Beneath its wooden floorboards are secret passages. In the attic, something ancient watches the stars, behind a vending machine in the gift shop. A hidden elevator leading to a bunker that predates modern history. At night, the walls seem to creak with memory. Some say the shack was built on a nexus point, where the lines between dimensions are thin. Others think it was a coincidence that the portal ended up there. But if you look at the way it's shaped, the strange angle of its roof, the hidden sigils carved into the rafters, you might think otherwise. Even the name Mystery Shack wasn't always what it was. Once, long ago, it was just a cabin. And what happened to make it so strange? Well, that's a story tied to two brothers, a machine, and a deal they never should have made. The forest. The woods surrounding Gravity Falls stretch endlessly in every direction. No one's ever mapped them completely. And those who try sometimes don't come back the same. They call it the Gravity Falls National Forest, but the trees here are older than any nation. Towering pines that groan in the wind, moss-covered stones with unreadable glyphs, streams that flow uphill, birds with too many eyes. People get lost in these woods, sometimes physically, sometimes in other ways. There are paths that weren't there yesterday, glowing eyes watching from the brush, gnome colonies disguised as bushes, a time anomaly sector where every step could drop you into a different decade. And of course, the Unicorn Grove, beautiful, glowing, peaceful, and guarded by creatures with very, very high standards for purity. Some say if you walk deep enough into the forest, past the forgotten paths and cursed clearings, you'll find a place where the trees grow in a perfect circle, and the air hums like a machine. That's where the portal energy once leaked into the soil, where reality is thin. The forest remembers everything. It is alive, and it's watching. Greasy's Diner and other local spots. Not everything in Gravity Falls is haunted or hidden. Some things are just weird in the usual ways. Greasy's Diner is the local food spot. The booths are sticky, the floors creak, and the jukebox plays 90s pop on a 30-second loop. It's where lazy afternoons slip into night, and teenagers sit half bored, half dreaming. Behind the counter is Lazy Susan, the waitress with a wandering eye, literally, and a surprisingly kind heart. She's worked here forever, and she's seen things. Probably more than she lets on. Then there's the Gravity Falls Mall, once grand, now barely functional. A place where time seems to have stopped in 2002. Escalators that run in reverse, forgotten animatronic mascots in the arcade, and a mysterious employee in the back of the photo booth who may or may not be a vampire. The public pool is only open 3 months a year and may contain both algae and ancient secrets. The Gravity Falls Cemetery is strangely well kept, even though no one remembers who mows it. Some headstones are written in runes, others aren't written at all. This is a town where even the mundane is tilted slightly sideways, and that's what makes it feel so real. The Northwest Mansion, just outside of town, past the iron gates and the long gravel drive, lies the Northwest family estate. It's enormous, cold, elegant. A mansion built to show off wealth that was never honestly earned. For generations, the Northwest family claimed to be the town's founders, its protectors. But that story, like so many in Gravity Falls, was a lie. A carefully crafted legacy hiding cruelty, greed, and a dark pact made long ago. The mansion itself holds secrets behind every painting. Trapdoors in the library, hidden rooms in the wine cellar, ghosts that whisper about betrayal and broken promises. The chandeliers shake during storms, not from thunder, but from something older inside the walls. Pacifica grew up here, trapped in silence and perfection. But even this place, with all its opulence and rot, isn't immune to change. Not after what happened on the night the ghosts rose. Not after she heard them speak. The bunker. Deep beneath the ground, hidden far from the paths anyone remembers, is a metal hatch, covered in moss, rusted from years of rain. Open it, and you'll find stairs leading downward and downward until the forest is far above you. This is the author's bunker, a lab built by Ford Pines during his time in Gravity Falls. Inside, journals and sketches line the walls. Old computers hum with unread files. Test chambers are sealed shut, with warnings scratched into steel. This is where Dipper and the others first encountered the shapeshifter. A creature locked in stasis who remembers the faces of everyone it's ever copied. It tried to become Dipper, to escape, to rewrite its own story. But the truth remained locked here. This bunker isn't just a lab, it's a vault of memory, of fear, of obsession. Ford built it to study the supernatural. He ended up studying himself, and what he saw terrified him. This town may be small on a map, but it stretches deep, through time, through space, through memory. Each location is more than a setting. It's a character. It changes. It waits. It tells its part of the story in symbols, scars, and strange echoes. As we continue in this section, we'll soon explore the time traveler's hideout, the UFO crash site, the Bill Cipher wheel, and the secrets beneath the Mystery Shack itself. But for now, you might feel the hush of the forest around you, the glow of fireflies just outside your window, the distant hoot of an owl who's seen more than any human ever will, and the sense that somewhere out there, just beyond the trees, something is moving. Something is waiting. But don't worry. You're safe here. You're just listening. You're just resting. The mystery can wait. You've already walked through the whispering woods. You've stepped beneath the Mystery Shack, brushed past cobwebs in the bunker, and stood at the gates of a mansion where old ghosts stir in dusty halls. But Gravity Falls holds more secrets. They stretch beyond what the eye can see, through time, through dreams, through cracks in the sky. So let's keep going, quietly, slowly, through the winding corners of this mysterious town. You won't need a flashlight, just a little imagination. Let's begin with the strange stretch of woods known only as the Time Anomaly Sector. If you head deep into the northern part of the forest, past the trail that turns to gravel, then to moss, then to nothing, you'll come across an area where the air feels different, thicker, buzzing slightly like static. This is the Time Anomaly Sector. No signs point to it. No maps acknowledge it. But if you get too close, your watch stops ticking. Birds fly in slow motion. Your footsteps echo twice. The sun flickers and then reappears where it shouldn't be. This is where Blandam Blandam, a time traveler from the year 2007-012, once crash-landed during one of his many temporal maintenance missions. It's here that his time machine, shaped like an oversized egg beater, malfunctioned and rippled a hole in space-time. In this zone, time doesn't flow like a river. It spins like a whirlpool. Gravity Falls keeps it contained, barely. The deeper you walk in, the more things feel off. You might hear your name whispered by a version of you that hasn't been born yet. You might see echoes of the past flash through the trees, moments from the town's history, playing out on invisible screens in the air. Ford Pines documented this place carefully. He theorized it's a temporal scar, a wound in time left open by some ancient cataclysm, possibly connected to Bill Cipher's early influence. And yet, despite the warnings, something about this sector draws people in. Maybe it's the hope that time can be rewritten, or maybe it's the feeling that if you listen hard enough, you can hear the future. The UFO crash site. Not all the strange in Gravity Falls came from other dimensions. Some of it came from above, far above. Buried beneath the forest, miles from any road, lies the shattered remains of a UFO, a vast alien spacecraft that crash-landed thousands of years ago. Long before Gravity Falls was founded, long before humans walked the area. Most of the ship is entombed beneath layers of rock and root, but the tip of the hull breaches the earth like a broken fin. Ford found it, dug into it, studied it. What he found was technology far beyond human understanding. Bioelectric engines, thought-responsive controls, entire storage chambers filled with star maps etched onto living metal. He also found warnings. This ship wasn't just a vehicle, it was a containment unit, a prison for something dangerous, something that may have escaped when it crashed. Even now, the ground near the site glows faintly at night. Animals avoid it. Plants near the wreck grow in spirals. There are voices in the static on radios nearby, speaking in a language no one knows, and yet somehow understands. Dipper once theorized that the ship wasn't just from space, but from a different law of physics entirely. That it carried passengers who weren't shaped like us. That their minds didn't think in time like ours. Some say the ship called Bill Cipher here. Others say he called it. Either way, the truth is still buried, half in soil, half in memory. The Zodiac Circle, not far from the UFO site, hidden in a mossy clearing behind the old lumber mill ruins, is a stone circle. You might not notice it at first. Just a ring of rocks, just some faded carvings, just a quiet silence that's a little too perfect. But step into the center and something shifts. This is the Cipher Wheel, also known as the Zodiac Circle, an ancient symbol of power tied to the only known method of defeating Bill Cipher, the dream demon who haunts the town's deepest lore. Each symbol on the wheel represents a person, a protector, a piece of the puzzle. The pine tree for Dipper, the shooting star for Mabel, the question mark for Seuss, the stitched heart, the llama, the six-fingered hand, each role chosen by fate, or maybe by design. During the final battle against Bill, The characters attempted to gather here to activate the circle with unity and purpose. But fear, pride, and betrayal broke the connection. And Bill laughed. Even now, the circle lies dormant, cracked, half erased by time. But some nights, under certain stars, the symbols glow again, just for a moment. As if the universe is waiting for the right people to stand together once more. The Mirror Lake, just east of town, beyond the deer trail, and the rusted-out truck full of mystery-themed snow globes, there lies Mirror Lake. It's quiet here. Too quiet. The surface is always still. Not a ripple, not a breeze, like glass. People say the lake reflects more than your image, that if you stare long enough, you'll see the version of yourself that could have been. Some see themselves older, happier, braver. Others see something darker. The locals say to never look too long. That once a boy saw himself waving from the water, but his reflection didn't stop when he did. Some think this is where the memory-erased quarry empties its runoff. Others think the lake was formed from the crash of something celestial, a forgotten weapon or fallen star. Mabel once dropped a pair of glitter socks in the water. They never sank, just hovered, perfectly still, like time froze around them. Sometimes, if you camp by the shore, you'll hear whispers over the water. Not words, just emotions, regret, wonder, curiosity. The lake doesn't judge. It just shows you the truth, whether you're ready or not. The forgotten caves, beneath gravity falls, deeper than the bunkers, beneath the roots of the forest, and even beneath the UFO wreck, there are caves. No one knows how far they go. Some think they predate the continent. Ford mapped only a small section, long enough to discover entire walls carved with unknown symbols. Pictographs of beings with single eyes and wings made of knives, spiral patterns that pulse if you touch them. The deeper you go, the warmer it gets. And somewhere near the center, there's a pulse, a low thrum, like a heartbeat, like something slumbering, waiting. The caves aren't empty. People have heard things, footsteps that don't match their own, whispers in reversed voices, laughter that never quite fades. And some explorers have returned different. Eyes a little too wide, thoughts scattered, as if something inside the caves climbed into their dreams and rewrote a few things. It's why Ford sealed off most of the tunnels. Why he never told anyone what he saw at the bottom. Why he stopped sleeping. There's so much more to this town than maps can show. Gravity Falls hides its heart beneath stories, symbols, and shadows. But those who look closely, who really listen, can begin to feel the pattern beneath the chaos. And maybe, just maybe, that pattern is the key to everything. Let's slow down now. You've wandered the forests, peeked into bunkers, passed through time anomalies and caves where forgotten things breathe in the dark. But here, we open the pages of something much quieter and far more dangerous. Something written in ink, in symbols, and in blood. Something that changed everything. The 3 mysterious books known as the journals. The beginning of the journals. It starts with a man. A brilliant, lonely man with 6 fingers. Stanford Philbrick Pines. A scientist, a seeker, a believer in things unseen. Years before the twins ever set foot in Gravity Falls, Ford arrived in the town alone. He had been invited to work at a prestigious university, but after a betrayal by his twin brother Stanley, Ford's life took a sharp turn. Instead of academia, he chose isolation, drifting across America in search of unexplained phenomena, eventually settling in Gravity Falls. Why there? Because something drew him in. Something about the magnetic anomalies, the strange wildlife, the unnatural weather patterns. It all whispered to his sharp scientific mind. Here is where the truth hides. So he built a lab beneath the forest. He studied, he watched, and eventually he wrote. Why 3 journals? Ford didn't just write one book. He wrote 3. Why? For protection. He feared the knowledge was too dangerous to keep in one place. That if anyone found it, they'd unlock secrets mankind was never meant to know. So he split the information. Journal 1 held his earliest observations: creature biology, gravity anomalies, magnetic readings. Journal 2 documented encounters, classified beasts, strange sightings, supernatural rules. Journal 3, the one found by Dipper years later, held the darkest knowledge. It contained what Ford learned after years of deep research: demonic entities, forbidden symbols, and the true name of the being that had begun to haunt his dreams, Bill Cipher. Each journal was disguised in leather, each marked with a strange hand symbol, 6 fingers, Ford's own, along with a golden number. A mind unraveling. As Ford wrote, he began to change. He started sleeping less, hearing voices. Bill first appeared to him in dreams as a pyramid-shaped entity, full of charisma and charm, a supposed muse from another dimension, offering answers, shortcuts, visions. Ford, like many brilliant minds before him, believed he could control it, that he could learn from Bill without giving anything up. He was wrong. The journals soon became more than a record. They became a battlefield, a written war between knowledge and madness. Some pages are crossed out, rewritten violently. Others are written backward or in mirror script. Some entries spiral into nonsense before abruptly ending with a word like run. Ford tried to seal away the worst of it. He buried Journal 1 in a vault. He sealed Journal 2 behind concrete. And Journal 3? He hid it in the woods far from his lab under a loose board, as if even he didn't want to touch it again. Hidden codes and symbols. The journals aren't written plainly. Every page is coded full of Caesar ciphers, Atbash scripts, substitution codes, and an entire alphabet invented by Ford himself, known now as the Gravity Falls cipher. Fans of the show quickly noticed that the real-world version of Journal 3, later released by creator Alex Hirsch, could be decoded using the same techniques. On the show, every episode ends with a cipher. Many of these are quotes from the journals or direct warnings from Ford or Bill. Ford never wanted the wrong hands to read what he had uncovered, so he left traps, cryptograms, even spells. Yes, spells. Some pages aren't meant to be read at all, not allowed, especially not in the presence of mirrors. Key entries in Journal 3. Let's quietly open Journal 3 now. Flip gently past the pages, some stained with oil, others burned around the edges, and find the entries that matter most. Page 23. The hide behind. A tall, thin cryptid that hides perfectly behind any object. It watches you. You'll never see it, but it's always there. The entry warns, if you feel watched in the woods, do not run. Walk calmly, and never turn your back. Page 36. Dreamscapers, a warning against dream travel. The text reads, the mind is not a safe place. Doors are left open too easily. Something always follows. It includes a diagram of the human brain with symbols drawn across each lobe, one glowing yellow. Bill's mark. Page 42. The cipher wheel. The full version of the zodiac wheel, including sketches of each symbol, their interpretations, and a theory that These are not symbols of power, but reflections of the soul. Ford speculates that these were left by an ancient civilization, possibly human, possibly not, who once battled Bill before and failed. Page 88. Bill Cipher. This is where the ink changes. The handwriting becomes erratic. The text reads, "He is not a god. He is not a demon. He is an idea, a parasite from the fifth dimension, who feeds on chaos and truth. He sees all, knows all, lies always. I trusted him once. He tricked me. I see his mark everywhere now. I am not safe. I am not safe." The rest of the page is blank. But in UV light, more text appears backwards. It says, "Don't trust your eyes. He is in them." How Dipper found Journal 3. Years later, in the first episode of Gravity Falls, Dipper stumbles across Journal 3 hidden in the forest. From that moment, the mystery begins. Dipper, unlike Ford, doesn't have years of training or a sealed lab. He has a bedroom in a creaky cabin, a twin sister who believes in unicorns, and a very short summer to decode it all. But what he lacks in training, he makes up for in determination. He reads the entries, learns the creatures, follows the patterns, fights the fear. And slowly, the journals start to awaken again. They weren't just books. They were blueprints for adventure, for survival, for the truth. Forbidden pages. What Ford hid. Some entries were torn out, literally removed. Ford feared that if anyone read them, they'd try to open doors best left closed. What kind of knowledge? Portals to other worlds. Blueprints for memory manipulation devices. Rituals involving star alignments. A list of names. People in town who were not what they seem. One page is rumored to contain a method for banishing Bill forever, but it's been smeared with something red and indecipherable. Some theorize Ford erased parts of his own memory to protect the secrets. Others believe Bill erased them for him. Let's pause here. Close the journal gently. Run your fingers across the leather. Feel the faded ink, the weight of everything hidden inside. Knowledge, yes, but danger too. Because sometimes the more you learn, the more the shadows notice you. So tread carefully. We'll return to the journals soon. In the next section, we'll explore how these books connect to ancient civilizations, the portal, and the strange interdimensional rules that Gravity Falls quietly bends. But for now, rest easy. The pages are closed. The night is still. And you're safe. We close the journal gently and let the silence settle. But the story inside is far from over. Because the journals are not just books. They are keys. Keys to doors between worlds, to secrets older than the town itself. And at the heart of it all lies the portal, a gateway that Ford Pines built, a machine that changed everything. The portal, a door to other realms. In the deepest part of Ford's lab, the cold metal bunker beneath the Mystery Shack, there stands a device unlike anything else in the world. A massive, humming machine built from parts no one can identify, glowing with symbols and power. This is the portal. Ford designed it to pierce the thin veil between dimensions, to let him study the unknown directly. The machine works by ripping a hole in space-time, a tear that connects Gravity Falls to countless other realities. Some beautiful, some terrifying. Ford dreamed of using it to explore, to learn, to protect the town from dangers beyond. But the portal was also a warning, because it didn't just bring knowledge, it brought danger. Bill Cipher came through that door. Bill Cipher and the fifth dimension. Bill Cipher is not from our world. He is a creature of chaos and dreams, originating from the fifth dimension, a place where reality folds and twists like paper. He looks like a yellow triangle with a single eye and a top hat. But he is much more than a shape. He is a trickster, a deceiver who feeds on fear, secrets, and broken minds. Bill's true goal is to escape his dimension and spread chaos in ours. He tricks people into deals, offering knowledge or power, but always at a terrible price. Ford's research showed Bill's power is tied to symbols, runes, codes, and signs that appear all over Gravity Falls. The zodiac wheel in the forest is one such symbol, meant to contain Bill's influence. But Bill is patient and clever. He waits for the right moment. The interdimensional rules. Ford's journals reveal that not all dimensions follow the rules we know. Time can flow backwards or sideways. Creatures can exist as pure thought or as physical beings. Magic and science blur. Ford found ancient texts carved in the caves, remnants of civilizations who once understood these rules. They left warnings and protections. But those protections are weakening. Bill's influence grows. Gravity Falls is the crossroads of these worlds, a nexus where realities collide. And if Bill escapes fully, the consequences could be catastrophic. Ford's sacrifice and the lost years. Ford's twin brother Stanley once betrayed him, stealing the journals and hiding them to protect the town, or maybe himself. This led to years of silence and separation. Ford became obsessed with the portal and the knowledge it held. He sacrificed his life's work and comfort to protect the town. He lost years trapped in other dimensions after Bill tricked him into the portal. Stanley, in the meantime, took over the Mystery Shack, hiding the truth behind scams and fake attractions. The legacy of the journals. The journals are not just a record. They are a warning, a guide, a weapon. For those who understand their codes, they offer the power to protect Gravity Falls. For those who don't, danger. Dipper, armed with Journal 3, begins a journey to understand this legacy. But the journals also ask a question. What would you do if you knew the truth about reality? Would you fight? Would you run? Or would you fall asleep to the mystery itself? As the night deepens and the forest outside quiets, remember, the story isn't just in the pages. It's in the spaces between. In the secrets whispered by the wind, in the soft glow of the stars, and in the place where knowledge and mystery meet. In the quiet town of Gravity Falls, beneath layers of trees and secrets, a story unfolds that stretches beyond time and space. It is the story of a being unlike any other, a creature of chaos, of dreams, of endless cunning. A yellow triangle with a single eye and a crooked smile. His name is Bill Cipher. Origins of Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher is not human. He is not bound by flesh or by the laws of our reality. He is an entity from the fifth dimension, a realm of pure ideas where time and space are fluid, and the impossible becomes real. According to Ford Pine's research, Bill existed long before humans walked the earth. He was a force of chaos and deception, an ancient trickster who traversed dimensions, slipping in and out of realities like a shadow. He fed on secrets, on fear, on broken minds. Bill's first encounter with the human world dates back centuries, if not longer. He whispered to dreamers. He made bargains with desperate souls. And always, he demanded a price. Bill's arrival in Gravity Falls. Bill's true influence began when Ford Pines built the portal, a machine that tore open the thin veil between worlds. Through this portal, Bill slipped into Gravity Falls, drawn by the town's unique energy. Gravity Falls is a nexus point, a place where dimensions thin, where the veil between realities grows weak. Bill knew that if he could control this town, he could control the doorway to all worlds. But he wasn't strong enough, yet. The Dream Demon's power. Bill Cipher's power lies in his ability to manipulate reality. He can bend time. He can invade dreams. He can change memories. He can possess minds. But his greatest weapon is deception. Bill appears charming, witty, playful. He promises power, knowledge, even friendship. But beneath the smiles and riddles lurks a heart of darkness. Bill is a parasite. He feeds on chaos and destruction. And his ultimate goal is to break the boundaries of reality and rule the multiverse. Bill's deals and trickery. Throughout the show, Bill's interactions with characters often revolve around deals. He offers help, sometimes saving lives or granting wishes. But every deal comes with a catch. For example, Bill tricks Stanford Pines into entering the portal, trapping him in a nightmare dimension for years. He deceives Gideon Gleeful, manipulating the boy's ambitions to serve his own ends. Bill even tempts Dipper and Mabel, attempting to break their trust and corrupt their minds. His deals are lessons in temptation. They show how easy it is to fall for promises when the price is unseen. The prophecy and the zodiac wheel. Ancient texts and the journals reveal a prophecy about Bill's defeat. It involves the zodiac wheel, a circle of symbols representing key individuals chosen to stand against him. Each symbol on the wheel corresponds to a person in Gravity Falls. The pine tree for Dipper Pines. The shooting star for Mabel Pines. The question mark for Sus Ramirez. The stitched heart for Robbie Valentino. The llama for Pacifica Northwest. The six-fingered hand for Ford Pines, and others. The prophecy states that when these individuals unite, their combined strength can banish Bill forever. But Bill's cunning is such that he works tirelessly to divide and conquer, to break their unity before the final battle. The night of the final battle. The climax of Bill's story is the night of the final battle, a moment when the town's fate hangs in the balance. Bill manages to enter the physical world fully, causing chaos and destruction. He twists reality, turning the town upside down. The sky burns red. Buildings collapse. People lose their minds. But the chosen individuals gather at the Zodiac Circle. They try to activate the ancient magic to banish Bill. At first it seems to work, but fear and mistrust creep in. Some hesitate, some betray, and Bill's laughter echoes through the night. Bill's temporary defeat. Despite his immense power, Bill is temporarily defeated. The combined efforts of Dipper, Mabel, Ford, Suze, and others weaken him. They trap him in a magic circle, binding him to the dream realm. But the victory is bittersweet. The town is scarred. Some friends are lost. And Bill's threat remains, a shadow waiting to return. The aftermath and legacy. After Bill's fall, Gravity Falls returns to a fragile peace. But the scars remain. The portal is sealed. The journals are hidden. The town's residents carry memories of fear and hope. Bill's story is a warning. That chaos is never truly gone. That power corrupts. That trust is fragile. And that even in the darkest moments, light can be found. Reflecting on Bill's tale. As you lie here, drifting toward sleep, remember Bill Cipher is not just a villain. He is a symbol. A reminder that the unknown can be both terrifying and fascinating. That the line between reality and dreams is thin. that curiosity comes with risks, and that sometimes the greatest battles are fought within ourselves. So close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the story of Bill Cipher fade into the shadows, knowing that for now the mystery rests, and so can you. In the world of Gravity Falls, few names inspire as much fear and fascination as Bill Cipher. The yellow triangle with a single eye and a crooked smile was never just a simple villain. He was a force of nature, a cosmic trickster, a nightmare given form. But to truly understand Bill, we must look beyond the surface, beyond his jokes, his deals, and his laughter. We must explore his origins, his methods, his influence on the town and its people, and finally, his downfall. The birth of chaos, Bill's origins revisited. Bill Cipher's existence began long before humans ever walked the forests of Oregon. According to the legends buried deep in the caves beneath Gravity Falls, Bill is a being from the fifth dimension, a place beyond normal comprehension where reality folds in on itself and time loses meaning. In this dimension, ideas have shape, thoughts have weight, and power comes from control over chaos. Bill is one such idea made manifest, an embodiment of entropy and trickery. He was born from the collision of cosmic forces, a spark of madness that slipped into the mortal realm. But the fifth dimension is vast and dangerous, and Bill's desire to escape it, to shape our reality, made him a predator among predators. Bill's arrival to our dimension. The first contact. Bill's first contact with our world is shrouded in mystery. Some say he whispered secrets into the ears of ancient shamans. Others claim he made bargains with early settlers, promising them power in exchange for their souls. But the true catalyst was the construction of the Gravity Falls portal by Ford Pines. The portal tore open a hole in the fabric of reality, allowing Bill to slip through. He found a town perfectly positioned, a nexus point where the veil between worlds was thin, where magic and science danced uneasily together. Bill quickly realized the potential. He could use Gravity Falls as a gateway to all worlds, a launch pad for his ultimate conquest. The nature of Bill's power. Bill's powers are many and terrifying. He can manipulate reality at will, warping space, time, and perception. He invades dreams, entering the subconscious minds of his victims. He can twist memories, making people doubt their own sanity. But Bill's greatest power lies in his ability to deceive. He presents himself as charming, playful, even helpful. He offers knowledge, power, and solutions. But each deal is a trap. Each favor comes with a price far greater than his victims realize. Bill feeds on chaos, on broken promises, on shattered minds. His ultimate goal is to break the boundaries of reality and rule over all dimensions. The psychology of the trickster. Bill Cipher is a classic trickster figure, rooted deeply in myth and psychology. Tricksters exist in cultures worldwide, figures who disrupt the natural order, challenge authority, and expose human flaws. Bill embodies these traits to an extreme. He exploits human weaknesses, greed, fear, curiosity. He offers shortcuts to power but ensures they come with ruin. He mocks his victims, revels in their despair, and delights in sowing discord. But beneath the laughter lies a chilling intelligence. Bill understands the power of hope and fear, and he uses both to control those around him. Bill's influence on Gravity Falls. Bill's impact on Gravity Falls is woven through the town's history. He is connected to strange phenomena, the time anomalies, the supernatural creatures, the cryptic symbols carved in trees and stones. The townsfolk have always felt his presence, though few have seen him directly. His influence is subtle and pervasive, affecting dreams, inspiring madness, and turning neighbors into enemies. Bill's most direct interaction was with the Pines family. He tricked Ford into entering the portal, trapping him in a nightmare realm for years. He manipulated Stan, pitting brothers against each other. He corrupted others like Gideon Gleeful and Robbie Valentino, bending their wills to serve his chaotic agenda. The Zodiac Wheel and the Prophecy of Defeat, ancient legends uncovered in the journals, tell of a prophecy involving Bill's defeat. The key lies in the Zodiac Wheel, a circle of symbols representing individuals chosen to stand against Bill. Each symbol corresponds to a person in the story. Pine Tree Dipper Pines, Shooting Star. Mabel Pines, question Mark Seuss Ramirez. Six-Fingered Hand. Ford Pines, Llama Pacifica Northwest. Stitched Heart, Robbie Valentino, Glass's Old Man McGucket, and others. Together, they embody the qualities necessary to oppose Bill: courage, friendship, intelligence, and sacrifice. The prophecy warns that only by unity can Bill be defeated. But Bill's cunning means he constantly works to divide the group, exploiting mistrust and fear, the rise to power and the night of chaos. Bill's rise to power culminated on the night of the Summerween Trickster event, when he fully crossed into our reality. He unleashed chaos, warping the town's reality. Buildings bent and twisted, time fragmented, people's minds unraveled. Bill transformed Gravity Falls into a nightmarish realm. He sought to reshape the world in his image. But the townsfolk, led by the Pines family and their allies, fought back. They gathered at the Zodiac Circle to perform an ancient ritual to banish him. The final battle, triumph and tragedy. The battle was fierce and fraught with peril. Bill's power was overwhelming, but the combined strength and will of the Chosen fought bravely. Mabel's kindness, Dipper's bravery, Ford's knowledge, Sue's loyalty, all were crucial. The ritual activated, binding Bill in a magic circle. But fear and doubt crept in. Some hesitated, some faltered. Bill seized the moment to escape. The victory was temporary. Bill was banished, but the threat lingered. The town was scarred, and the wounds would take years to heal. The aftermath and Bill's legacy. After Bill's fall, Gravity Falls slowly returned to peace. But his shadow remained. The portal was sealed, the journals hidden. The town guarded its secrets carefully. Bill's story became a legend, a warning of the dangers lurking in the unknown, of the thin line between reality and chaos, of the power of unity and sacrifice. Reflecting on Bill Cipher's story. As you rest now, remember that Bill Cipher's tale is more than just a story of good and evil. It's a lesson, a reflection on temptation, trust, and the human spirit. Bill represents the chaos that lies within and without. He reminds us that the unknown is both frightening and fascinating, that the greatest battles are often within ourselves, and that even in the darkest times, hope can shine. So close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let Bill's story fade into the quiet night. For now, the mystery rests, and so can you. As the quiet night deepens, let us turn our attention to the heart of Gravity Falls itself, the Pines family. They are more than just the people living in the little town surrounded by forests and mysteries. Their story is woven tightly with the fabric of this strange place. To truly understand Gravity Falls, we must understand the Pines family, their secrets, their struggles, and their unbreakable bonds. The twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines. At the center of the story are the twins, Dipper and Mabel Pines. They arrived in Gravity Falls on a summer vacation with their great-uncle Stan, a trip that quickly transformed into a journey of discovery, danger, and growth. Dipper, with his curious mind and determination, was the first to find Journal 3, the key that unlocked the secrets of the town. He was the thinker, the puzzle solver, the one who tried to piece together the chaos around him. His blue pine tree hat became a symbol of his resolve and identity. Mabel, on the other hand, brought light and warmth into the often dark and mysterious world they faced. Her bright sweaters, her laughter, and her boundless optimism were not just charm, they were a shield. She faced danger not just with bravery, but with heart, reminding everyone that even in the shadows, kindness can shine. Together, the twins balanced each other perfectly. Dipper's logic and Mabel's intuition blended to form a partnership that could face the impossible. But beneath their summer adventures, there was a deeper legacy, one tied not only to the mystery of the town, but to their family's own past. The great Uncle Stan, Stanley Pines. Stanley Pines, or simply Stan, was the owner of the Mystery Shack, a quirky tourist trap full of oddities and curiosities. Stan was a complex figure. At first glance, he appeared as a con man, a hustler who used tricks and scams to make a living. But behind the gruff exterior and the thick eyebrows lay a man deeply loyal to his family. Stan's greatest secret was his complicated relationship with his twin brother, Stanford Pines. For years, Stan had lived under a false identity, hiding from the truth of his brother's disappearance and the dangers lurking in the woods. Stan's actions, often mischievous and self-serving, were in fact motivated by a desire to protect the family from the dangerous knowledge Ford had uncovered. Stanford Pines, the lost brother. Stanford Philbrick Pines, known as Ford, was the true scientist of the family. A brilliant mind, marked by his six-fingered hands, Ford was obsessed with understanding the supernatural. His research led him to the journal's volumes filled with knowledge about the strange creatures and phenomena of Gravity Falls. Ford was the architect of the portal, the device meant to explore other dimensions. But Ford's story is one of sacrifice and isolation. After an incident involving Bill Cipher, Ford was trapped in a nightmare dimension for years. His disappearance left a void in the family, a mystery that weighed heavily on Stan and the twins. When Ford finally returned, he brought with him knowledge that could save the town, but also great danger. The Pines family legacy, more than just mysteries. The Pines family was not just a group caught in the middle of strange events. They were central to the town's fate. Their ancestors had a long history with Gravity Falls, a history filled with secrets, betrayals, and courage. In the journals, Ford wrote about family members who had encountered the unknown before him. Tales of ancestors who fought cryptids, who kept secrets hidden, and who understood that Gravity Falls was a place like no other. This legacy of curiosity and protection passed down to Dipper and Mabel as a torch to carry. Family bonds in the face of chaos. One of the most powerful themes in the Pines family story is the strength of family bonds. Despite the betrayals, the secrets, and the dangers, the family remained connected by love. Dipper and Mabel's relationship with their uncles especially showed the power of forgiveness and loyalty. Stan's rough love, Ford's wisdom, and the twins' determination created a network of support that kept the town safe. Even when Bill Cipher threatened to tear everything apart, it was their unity that stood against him. The Mystery Shack. A home and a haven. The Mystery Shack was more than just a tourist trap. It was a symbol of the Pines family's resilience. Filled with odd exhibits and strange artifacts, the shack was a crossroads of the past and present. It held secrets, hidden rooms, coded messages, and connections to the greater mysteries of Gravity Falls. For Dipper and Mabel, the shack was a home base for their adventures. For Stan, it was both a livelihood and a front to hide deeper truths. And for the town, it was a beacon, a place where the strange and wonderful were celebrated. Hidden Secrets of the Pines Family. Throughout the series, many hidden secrets about the family were revealed. From Stan's real identity to forged journals, from lost memories to forgotten battles, the Pines family was a treasure trove of mystery. One striking secret was the six-fingered hand, a birthmark that marked those who were destined to understand and fight the supernatural forces around them. Another was the hidden room beneath the shack, a place where Ford kept his research and where the portal was hidden. These secrets often put the family in danger, but also gave them the tools they needed to protect each other. The legacy continues. Dipper and Mabel's future. Though the summer adventures ended, the legacy of the Pines family continued. Dipper and Mabel grew, taking with them the lessons of bravery, curiosity, and love. They understood that Gravity Falls was a place of endless wonder and danger, and that their family history was part of something much bigger than themselves. As you drift into sleep, remember, the mysteries of Gravity Falls are not just about strange creatures or hidden portals. They are about family, about the ties that bind us even in the darkest times, and about the courage it takes to face the unknown together. Close your eyes now. Feel the gentle forest breeze. Hear the whispers of the Pines family story wrap around you like a soft blanket. And know that in this quiet, mysterious town, the legacy of the Pines family lives on a story of heart, hope, and the magic of belonging. As the stars twinkle softly outside your window, let's settle deeper into the story of the Pines family, the heart and soul of Gravity Falls. Their tale is one of mystery, love, sacrifice, and the unyielding strength of family bonds. So draw a warm breath, feel the calm wash over you, and let's continue wandering through the shadows and light of the Pines legacy. The Pines twins' journey, more than just summer vacation. Dipper and Mabel Pines came to Gravity Falls expecting a quiet summer with their great Uncle Stan. What they found instead was a world bursting with the unknown, a place where the ordinary and the extraordinary intertwined. Dipper, always the seeker of truth, was instantly captivated by the mysteries hidden in the forest and the town's oddities. His discovery of Journal 3 wasn't just luck, it was destiny. The journal called to him, promising answers and adventure, but also caution and danger. Mabel, with her sparkling sweaters and infectious enthusiasm, faced the strange with open arms and a heart full of joy. Her friendship with the townsfolk, her unshakable optimism, and her fierce loyalty were the glue that held many moments together. Together they faced things no child should ever have to, yet somehow they grew stronger. Their summer wasn't just about monsters and puzzles. It was about learning who they were, what family means, and how courage can look very different in each of us. The mystery behind the Mystery Shack. At the center of their summer was the Mystery Shack, a place filled with curiosities, odd inventions, and a history as strange as the town itself. Owned and run by their great Uncle Stan, the shack was a tourist trap on the surface. But beneath the surface, it was much more. Hidden rooms behind false walls, locked cabinets filled with artifacts, a secret basement housing Ford's lab, and the mysterious portal. The shack was a home and a fortress, a place where the past lingered and secrets waited patiently to be uncovered. Stan kept many secrets from the twins, some to protect them. others out of fear or shame. The shack was a reminder that even in places of laughter and scams, shadows can lurk. But it was also a beacon of family, a symbol that no matter how strange the world became, home was always waiting. Stanley Pines, the con man with a heart of gold. Stanley Pines was a man of many faces. To most, he was a gruff, witty con artist, always ready with a joke or scheme. But behind the gruffness was a deep well of love and regret. Stan's story is one of a sacrifice. Years ago, he and his twin brother Ford had a falling out, driven by jealousy, fear, and misunderstanding. Stan took on a false identity to protect his family and hide from the dangerous truths Ford had uncovered. Though he often acted selfish, every con and every scam was, in some way, an attempt to hold his fractured family together. His love for Dipper and Mabel, though often clumsy, was fierce and unbreakable. Stan represents the idea that family isn't perfect, but it's always worth fighting for. Stanford Pines, the scientist lost in time. Ford Pines was the brain, the explorer of the unknown. His six-fingered hands were a mark of destiny, linking him to ancient secrets and extraordinary knowledge. Ford was obsessed with understanding Gravity Falls mysteries. He built the journals, he created the portal, and he spent years trapped in another dimension, fighting to come home. His return was both a relief and a reminder of the price paid for knowledge. Ford's relationship with his brother was complex, marked by love, betrayal, and forgiveness. His intellect was tempered by humility, and his courage was fueled by a deep sense of responsibility. Ford teaches us that seeking truth can be lonely and dangerous, but it is necessary for growth and healing. The ancestral pines, guardians of gravity, falls. The pines. Family's connection to Gravity Falls runs deeper than just the current generation. Their ancestors walked these woods long before modern visitors. Some were hunters of cryptids, others protectors of ancient knowledge. Their stories are whispered in the caves and carved into the oldest trees. Ancestors left behind symbols, artifacts, and warnings to guide future generations. These echoes from the past remind us that the battle between order and chaos is timeless, and that some families carry the burden and blessing of guarding secrets meant to protect all of reality. The six-fingered hand, a mark of fate, one of the most mysterious elements tying the Pines family to the supernatural, is the six-fingered hand symbol. Ford's six fingers are unique and rare. In the journals, this symbol appears repeatedly, a sign of those chosen to confront the unknown. The six-fingered hand isn't just a physical trait. It's a metaphor, a mark of destiny. It symbolizes knowledge, power, and the weight of responsibility. Those who bear it are linked to the deepest mysteries of Gravity Falls and stand as the town's protectors. The power of family unity. Through every trial and shadow, the strength of the Pines family lies in their unity. Dipper and Mabel's bond as twins is unshakable. Stan and Ford's reconciliation shows forgiveness' power. The family's willingness to come together, even when secrets divide them, is what ultimately saves Gravity Falls. This unity is the true magic of the town, a reminder that no matter how dark the night, together we can find the light. Hidden rooms and forgotten memories. Beneath the Mystery Shack, Ford's secret lab hides more than scientific instruments. It houses memories, fragments of the past, and clues to the future. Secret passages wind through the walls, leading to rooms filled with research, artifacts, and warnings. Each discovery brings the family closer to understanding their place in the town's tapestry. But with knowledge come danger. For every secret revealed, new questions arise. The Pines family's journey is ongoing, a delicate balance of courage, curiosity, and caution. The legacy lives on. Though summer ended and the twins returned home, the story of the Pines family is far from over. Their legacy continues in the hearts of those who love Gravity Falls. In the laughter echoing through the mystery shack, in the rustling leaves of the forest, in the quiet moments before sleep, when the line between reality and dreams blurs. The Pines family teaches us that mysteries are not just to be solved, but to be lived. That family is our greatest adventure. And that sometimes the most magical stories are the ones written with love. As your eyes grow heavier, imagine the Pines family gathered around a warm fire in the mystery shack, sharing stories, protecting secrets, and ready to face whatever comes next. Feel the peace of belonging, the strength of love, and the endless wonder of Gravity Falls. As the night deepens and your breath slows into a peaceful rhythm, let's wander softly through the woods of Gravity Falls. Here the trees hold secrets and the shadows dance with creatures both strange and magical. These aren't just stories to frighten or thrill. They are part of the tapestry that makes this town so endlessly enchanting. So lean back, let your mind drift, and join me as we quietly explore the most fascinating beings that call Gravity Falls home. The gnomes, mischievous forest dwellers. One of the first and most playful creatures you might encounter are the gnomes. These little beings stand no taller than a few feet and wear pointed hats that look like something out of a fairy tale. They love pranks, mischief, and causing mild chaos around the mystery shack. Though small, they are surprisingly strong and can band together to pose a threat to anyone who crosses them. But despite their tricks, the gnomes are more curious than cruel, more playful than dangerous. They live deep in the forest, hidden among the roots and rocks. When they gather in groups, they can be surprisingly organized, even trying to crown one of their own as king. Their quirky presence reminds us that not everything small should be underestimated. The Manitars, forest protectors. Moving from mischievous to majestic, we find the Manitars. These half-man, half-minotaur creatures guard the sacred spaces of Gravity Falls forests. With the body of a muscular human and the head of a bull, Manitars are fierce yet noble. They protect ancient ruins, natural springs, and places where magic still lingers. Though intimidating at first glance, Manitars are honorable creatures. They value strength, loyalty, and the balance between nature and civilization. If you ever find yourself lost in the woods and encounter a Manitar, showing respect and humility is the best way to ensure safe passage. The multi-bear, the fierce mountain beast. High in the mountains around Gravity Falls roams the multi-bear, a terrifying beast with 3 heads and immense power. Each head has its own mind and personality, making the multi-bear unpredictable and dangerous. Legends say the multi-bear was born from a magical experiment gone wrong, combining the strength of several bears into one unstoppable creature. Despite its fearsome reputation, sightings are rare as the multi-bear prefers solitude in the remote wilderness. Those who've encountered it speak of an overwhelming presence, an ancient force of nature. The multi-bear embodies the wild, untamable spirit of Gravity Falls mountains, the wax figures, animated curiosities. In the darker corners of the Mystery Shack and elsewhere, strange wax figures have been spotted. These aren't ordinary statues. Some say they move when no one is looking, Others believe they are trapped souls or enchanted guardians. The origin of these figures is unknown, but their presence adds an eerie layer to the town's mysteries. They remind us that even stillness can be deceptive, that in Gravity Falls, nothing is quite as it seems. The Gremloblin, the forest trickster. A lesser-known creature, is the Gremloblin a mix between a gremlin and a goblin? Small, quick, and extremely clever, Gremloblins specialize in causing mechanical failures and sabotaging machinery. They delight in chaos, but unlike gnomes, their tricks can be dangerous. If your vehicle suddenly breaks down in the woods, a Gremloblin might be the culprit. They are shy, avoiding direct confrontation, but clever enough to outwit most humans. Respect and care for the environment can keep Gremloblins at bay. The shape-shifting wax guy. Another fascinating figure is the shape-shifting wax guy, a wax statue that can change its form. Legends say it can take on the appearance of anyone it wishes, mimicking voices and behaviors perfectly. This creature is said to haunt the Mystery Shack, playing tricks on visitors and staff alike. Though unsettling, the shape-shifting wax guy is more mischievous than malevolent, preferring pranks over harm. It reminds us to question what we see and hear, and to trust our intuition. The zombies of Gravity Falls. Yes, even zombies wander the forests of Gravity Falls, though not the slow, mindless kind from stories. These zombies are animated by mysterious magic, often bound to protect secrets or guard forbidden places. They move silently, almost blending into the shadows. Encounters with zombies are rare and typically happen near places touched by dark forces. While dangerous, they are not inherently evil, often victims themselves of ancient curses. Understanding their plight can bring compassion even to the undead. The lumberjack werewolf. Among the more terrifying legends is the lumberjack werewolf. By day, a burly lumberjack working the forests. By night, a fierce werewolf prowling the woods. The transformation is tied to the phases of the moon, and the creature struggles to control its dual nature. Local stories speak of strange howls echoing through the trees and of vanished travelers. But some say the werewolf is also protective of the forest, punishing those who harm nature. The lumberjack werewolf embodies the wildness lurking just beneath civilization's surface. The glow cloud. Floating high above Gravity Falls is the mysterious glow cloud, a glowing ethereal entity that casts a hypnotic light over the town. It is said to influence the minds of those below, causing sudden enthusiasm or strange behavior. Though not overtly harmful, the glow cloud's power over emotions is unsettling. Some townsfolk revere it as a spirit. Others fear its manipulations. Its presence reminds us that the unseen forces of Gravity Falls are always watching, always influencing. The horrifying trout. In the rivers and lakes near Gravity Falls swims the horrifying trout, a monstrous fish with glowing eyes and razor-sharp teeth. Rarely seen by humans, it is a predator of both the waters and any careless swimmer. Folklore warns of its sudden appearances and swift attacks. The horrifying trout is a symbol of the dangers lurking beneath the surface, in the calm waters where we least expect them. The tentacle monster. Deep in the lakes of Gravity Falls lurks the tentacle monster, a giant cephalopod with countless limbs and eyes. Stories tell of boats dragged underwater and eerie lights flickering beneath the waves. The tentacle monster is both feared and respected, a reminder of the mysteries hidden in the depths. It symbolizes the unknown lurking just out of sight, beneath the calm exterior. The floating heads. One of the eerier creatures are the floating heads, disembodied glowing heads that drift silently through the forest. They are said to be spirits trapped between worlds, or remnants of ancient magic. Their silent presence chills those who encounter them. They serve as reminders that Gravity Falls is a place where the veil between life and death is thin. The Feathered Serpent. Inspired by ancient myths, the feathered serpent is said to live in the deepest parts of the forest. A majestic, snake-like creature with feathers instead of scales. It is associated with wisdom, transformation, and cycles of life. Sightings are rare and considered signs of great change. The feathered serpent reminds us of the magic woven into the natural world and the mysteries waiting to be uncovered. The shape-shifting creature. Gravity Falls is home to numerous shapeshifters, beings that can assume many forms. They use their abilities for protection, trickery, or survival. Dipper and Mabel encounter a few throughout their adventures. Shapeshifters teach us to see beyond appearances, to recognize that identity is fluid and complex. The cryptids, creatures of legend. Beyond the named creatures, Gravity Falls is home to countless cryptids, beings so strange and rare they are almost myth. From giant spiders to invisible beasts, these creatures spark curiosity and caution. They remind us that the world is larger and stranger than we can imagine. The balance of nature and mystery. All these creatures, from the smallest gnome to the enormous tentacle monster, form a delicate ecosystem. Gravity Falls is a place where the natural and supernatural coexist, where mystery is part of the landscape, and where every creature plays a role in the balance of things. Final thoughts on Gravity Falls creatures. As you drift toward sleep, imagine these creatures softly stirring in the forest. The gentle rustle of gnome footsteps. The silent watch of manitors. The distant howl of the lumberjack werewolf. The glowing light of the mysterious glow cloud. Each creature adds a thread to the rich tapestry of Gravity Falls. They are reminders that the world is full of wonder, that magic can be found in the quietest places, and that sometimes the most extraordinary things hide just beyond sight. So rest now with the knowledge that the strange and wonderful roam the woods, and that in the heart of Gravity Falls, the night holds secrets, both ancient and new. As the night gently folds around you like a soft blanket, let us venture further into the mysterious forests and hidden places of Gravity Falls. The creatures that dwell here are not merely tales for fright. They are echoes of ancient magic, reminders of nature's mysteries, and guardians of secrets older than time. Relax and let your mind wander as we explore more of the strange and wonderful beings that share this enigmatic town. The Rumble Bump. One of the lesser-known creatures of Gravity Falls is the Rumble Bump, a small furry beast with powerful legs that allow it to leap incredible distances. The Rumble Bump is nocturnal, often heard before it's seen, its heavy footsteps causing the earth to tremble softly, like a gentle rumble. It lives in burrows beneath the forest floor and is known for being shy and elusive. Legends say its fur shimmers faintly under moonlight, blending perfectly with the night shadows. While harmless to humans, the Rumble Bump is fiercely protective of its territory. Those who respect the woods may be lucky enough to spot one on a quiet night. The Chomper, forest's silent hunter. In the deeper woods, the Chomper stalks silently. This creature resembles a large, shadowy wolf, but with glowing amber eyes and a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth that seem to never close. Oh, the Chomper is said to hunt anything that disturbs the natural balance. Its howl is rarely heard, but when it echoes through the forest, It sends a chill to the bones. Despite its fearsome reputation, the chomper is not malevolent. It acts as a guardian, ensuring that the delicate web of life remains unbroken. The glass eye. Floating silently through the thick mist that often blankets the forest is the eerie glass eye. It is exactly what it sounds like, a large, disembodied eye that watches with an unsettling stillness. No one knows whether it's a spirit, a magical construct, or something else entirely. The glass eye is said to appear during times of great change, watching events unfold with an unblinking gaze. Some believe it can see into other dimensions or perceive truths hidden from human eyes. Its presence is both a warning and a curiosity, reminding us that unseen forces always watch over Gravity Falls. The Shadow Walker. Few have seen the Shadow Walker, but its legend is whispered among the oldest residents. It is described as a tall, dark figure that moves without making a sound, its form blending seamlessly with the night. The Shadow Walker is a creature of silence and stealth, often appearing just on the edge of vision. It is said to protect the sacred places of Gravity Falls, moving unseen to stop those who would do harm. Encounters are rare and fleeting, but those who have glimpsed it speak of a feeling of being watched, both safe and unsettled. The Whispering Trees. While not creatures in the traditional sense, the Whispering Trees of Gravity Falls deserve a mention. These ancient trees are said to hold the memories of the forest, their leaves rustling with voices from the past. Some say the trees can communicate with those who listen carefully enough, sharing warnings, stories, and wisdom. At night, the whispers become clearer, a soft chorus that soothes the restless mind. They remind us that the forest itself is alive, a vast being with its own spirit and secrets, the night screamers. In the darkest hours before dawn, the night screamers take to the skies. These winged creatures have long, sharp talons and feathers that shimmer with an otherworldly glow. Their screams pierce the silence, echoing through the valleys and hills. The night screamers are believed to be the souls of lost travelers, transformed by the magic of Gravity Falls. Their cries serve both as a lament and a warning to respect the forest and tread lightly. Though terrifying in sound, they are not creatures of malice. Their presence adds a haunting beauty to the night. The Marsh Spirit. Hidden in the misty wetlands surrounding Gravity Falls lives the Marsh Spirit. This ethereal being appears as a shimmering figure made of water and reeds. It is said to protect the wetlands and the creatures that live there, controlling the fog and the flow of the waters. The Marsh Spirit is gentle but fiercely protective. Travelers who respect the marsh and its life may receive its blessing, finding safe passage in calm waters. Those who harm the wetlands may find themselves lost in endless fog, trapped in the spirit's domain. The Forest Giants. Legends tell of enormous forest giants, towering beings made of wood, moss, and stone. Though rarely seen, their footprints are said to shake the earth, and their deep bellows echo through the mountains. Forest giants are ancient protectors, the guardians of the oldest trees and the deepest secrets of the forest. They are slow and deliberate, choosing their moments to appear carefully. Some believe they are spirits of the forest given form. Others think they are remnants of forgotten magic. Their presence reminds us of nature's power and patience. The crystal spider. Deep in dark caves near Gravity Falls lurks the crystal spider. This creature's body sparkles with tiny crystals, reflecting light in dazzling patterns. Its webs are almost invisible, but incredibly strong. The crystal spider weaves intricate traps, not just to catch prey, but also to protect hidden treasures. Though rarely encountered, the spider is a symbol of patience, artistry, and the delicate balance between beauty and danger. The moonlight fox. The moonlight fox is a mystical creature that appears only under the light of the full moon. Its fur glows faintly with silver, and its eyes shine like stars. The fox is said to be a guide for lost souls, leading them safely through the forest. Some claim it can cross between worlds, slipping silently between dreams and reality. The moonlight fox embodies mystery and grace, a reminder that magic often reveals itself in quiet moments. The cave toad. In the damp caves scattered across Gravity Falls live the cave toads, large amphibians with glowing eyes and strange markings. These toads are believed to have ancient knowledge, and their croaks are thought to be part of the forest's magic. Local folklore says they guard the entrances to other worlds, croaking warnings to those who approach unprepared. Their strange glow and mysterious presence add to the eerie beauty of the caves. The river serpent. Slithering beneath the flowing waters of the rivers around Gravity Falls is the river serpent. This long, elegant creature has shimmering scales that ripple like liquid silver. It is said to control the flow of the rivers, guiding fish and clearing debris. Fishermen tell tales of seeing the serpent's gleaming body beneath the water's surface. The river serpent is a symbol of life's constant movement and change, the ever-flowing currents of time and nature. The ice devil. Far in the coldest parts of the surrounding mountains lurks the ice devil. This fierce creature is made of frost and shadow, with glowing blue eyes and breath that freezes the air. The ice devil guards the mountain, passes, and the ancient glaciers. Though feared, it is said to keep the balance of cold and warmth, preventing the wild magic of Gravity Falls from spilling too far. Its presence is a reminder of nature's extremes and the fragile equilibrium between forces. The sleep slug. Among the many curious creatures is the sleep slug. These small, slow-moving slugs emit a gentle, glowing light that causes drowsiness in anyone nearby. They live in quiet, dark places and are harmless. In fact, travelers sometimes use sleep slugs as a natural way to fall asleep. Their soft glow and calming presence remind us that even the strangest creatures can bring comfort. The forest lantern. Another magical presence is the forest lantern, a floating orb of light that guides wanderers through the woods. Legends say the lantern is the spirit of a kind soul who watches over travelers. It appears when the night is darkest, casting a warm, inviting glow. Many stories tell of people following the lantern to safety even when they had lost their way. The forest lantern symbolizes hope, guidance, and protection in the unknown. The Twilight Stalker. The Twilight Stalker is a creature that moves between light and dark. Its form is ever-changing, shifting from shadow to shimmering outline. It prowls the edges of the forest at dusk and dawn, times when the veil between worlds is thinnest. Though mysterious, the Twilight Stalker is not considered dangerous, but rather a guardian of the balance between day and night. Its elusive nature reminds us that some mysteries are meant to be glimpsed, not grasped. The Ancient Watcher. Finally, deep in the oldest parts of the forest stands the Ancient Watcher, a colossal tree-like being with eyes carved into its bark. The Watcher has stood for centuries, silently observing the passage of time. It is said to hold the memories of the forest and the wisdom of the ages. Some believe it can communicate with those who respect nature, sharing secrets and guidance. The Ancient Watcher is the ultimate guardian of Gravity Falls mysteries, a reminder of the enduring power of the natural world. Closing thoughts on the creatures of Gravity Falls. As your eyelids grow heavier, imagine the creatures of Gravity Falls settling into the night. The rustle of the rumble bump through the leaves. The distant howl of the chomper echoing softly. The gentle glow of the sleep slugs lighting a hidden path. Each being, from the smallest to the greatest, plays a part in the endless dance of magic and nature. They are guardians, tricksters, guides, and keepers of secrets. In Gravity Falls, the forest breathes with life, and that life is more wondrous and mysterious than we can ever truly know. Rest now, surrounded by the gentle hum of the woods. Know that the creatures of Gravity Falls watch over you in the quiet night, keeping the mystery safe until morning. As the night deepens and your breathing slows into a calm, steady rhythm, let's journey gently through the places in Gravity Falls where mystery settles into the very earth itself. These are places charged with power, where time seems to bend, where reality thins, and where ancient secrets wait silently beneath moss-covered stones and towering trees. So relax fully, feel the soft weight of the night around you, and walk quietly with me through the sacred, secret places that make Gravity Falls a land unlike any other. The Mystery Shack, heart of the unknown. Our journey begins at the Mystery Shack, the quirky, chaotic, and beloved tourist trap that serves as a hub for the town's strange happening. Though it looks like a simple cabin, filled with oddities and scams, the shack is much more. Behind its creaky walls and kitschy displays lie hidden rooms, secret passages, and magical artifacts. The shack's basement houses the laboratory of Stanford Pines, filled with journals, machines, and the portal itself, an entrance to other dimensions. It is both a sanctuary and a fortress. The shack represents the bridge between the ordinary world and the extraordinary. It reminds us that even the most unlikely places can hold deep secrets. Gravity Falls Forest, the living heart. Stretching beyond the town lies the dense, whispering Gravity Falls Forest. This vast woodland is alive, not just with animals and plants, but with magic. The forest is home to countless creatures, hidden ruins, and places where the veil between worlds is thin. Many of the town's greatest mysteries begin here, among the ancient trees and tangled roots. It is said the forest remembers every footstep and every secret told beneath its canopy. Walking through these woods is like stepping into a living storybook, where every shadow holds a story and every breeze carries a whisper. The Portal Cave, gateway between worlds. Deep in a hidden cave beneath the Mystery Shack is the portal, a glowing doorway created by Stanford Pines to explore other dimensions. This portal is a place of immense power and great danger. It hums with energy, bending space and time. Though it offers the possibility of adventure and discovery, it also threatens to unravel reality itself. The Portal Cave is a reminder that curiosity and ambition must be balanced with caution and respect. Standing before it, one feels the weight of infinite possibilities, and the knowledge that some doors, once opened, cannot easily be closed. The Time Baby's domain. High above Gravity Falls, in a realm beyond normal perception, exists the domain of Time Baby. This enormous infant with the power to manipulate time and space watches over the flow of history. Though rarely seen by humans, Time Baby's presence is felt in moments when time seems to stretch, rewind, or freeze. This place, existing outside of regular reality, holds the threads of past, present, and future. It reminds us that time is both a gift and a mystery, and that the past is never truly gone. The Northwest Mansion, a house of secrets. Perched on the hill overlooking Gravity Falls is the Grand Northwest Mansion, home to the wealthy and secretive Northwest family. The mansion is a place of opulence and hidden tension. Beneath its polished surface lie family secrets, old grudges, and magical traps. The mansion itself seems to pulse with power, protecting its owners and their legacy. It stands as a reminder that not all mysteries are in the forest. Some lie behind locked doors and guarded hearts. The Witch's Circle. Hidden deep in the forest is the Witch's Circle, a ring of ancient stones believed to be a gathering place for magical rituals. The stones glow faintly under moonlight, and the air here feels charged with unseen energy. Legends say the witches of Gravity Falls use this place to cast spells, summon spirits, and protect the town. Visitors to the circle often feel a sense of calm and awe, as if stepping into a sacred space. The Witch's Circle reminds us that magic is woven into the land itself, ancient and enduring. The Lost Cemetery. Beyond the edge of town lies the Lost Cemetery, a resting place for those who came before. The cemetery is shrouded in mist and filled with weathered tombstones and forgotten graves. It is said that on certain nights, the spirits of the past walk quietly among the stones. The Lost Cemetery holds memories and histories long buried, waiting to be remembered. It teaches us about the passage of time, the cycle of life and death, and the thin veil between worlds. The giant statue. Near the edge of the forest stands a mysterious giant statue carved from ancient stone. The statue depicts a towering figure holding a staff and watching over the woods. No one knows who carved it or why, but it feels alive with silent power. Some believe the statue is a guardian, protecting the forest from unseen threats. Others think it marks a place of ancient magic, a portal to forgotten realms. The giant statue is a symbol of strength, protection, and the mysteries that stand the test of time. The Enchanted Lake. Nestled in a quiet valley is the Enchanted Lake, its waters shimmering with an otherworldly glow. The lake is said to be home to water spirits and magical creatures. Its surface reflects not just the sky, but visions of other worlds and times. Locals tell stories of wishes made by the lake's edge coming true, or of secrets hidden beneath its depths. The Enchanted Lake reminds us of the hidden magic in nature and the mysteries that lie just below the surface. The Foggy Swamp. In the outskirts of Gravity Falls lies the Foggy Swamp, a place thick with mist and filled with twisted trees and dark waters. The swamp is a realm of secrets and shadows. It is home to strange creatures, lost travelers, and ancient spirits. Walking through the swamp feels like entering another world, one where time slows and the air hums with magic. The Foggy Swamp teaches us about mystery and caution, the beauty and danger of places forgotten. The Caves of Echoes. Underneath the hills around Gravity Falls are the Caves of Echoes, labyrinthine tunnels filled with strange sounds and shimmering crystals. The caves seem to carry voices from the past, echoes of ancient rituals, and whispers of forgotten knowledge. Exploring the caves is like stepping into the town's deepest memories. They remind us that even in darkness, there is light, and that history is never truly silent. The Tree of the Dead. Deep in the forest stands the eerie Tree of the Dead, its bare branches reaching like skeletal fingers. The tree is said to be a gateway to the spirit world, where the living and dead can briefly meet. Ghostly figures are sometimes seen near the tree, and strange lights flicker in the darkness. Though unsettling, the Tree of the Dead is also a place of peace, where sorrow and memory mingle. It reminds us of the cycle of life and the bonds that endure beyond death. The secret portal sites. Throughout Gravity Falls are various hidden portals and gateways, small doorways to other dimensions. Some appear as shimmering mirrors, others as cracks in the earth or swirling pools. These portals are remnants of Ford's experiments in the town's deep, magical roots. Each portal holds the promise of adventure and the warning of unknown dangers. They teach us about boundaries, curiosity, and the brave hearts who dare to cross thresholds. The Hidden Library. Beneath the town library lies a hidden library filled with forbidden books and ancient scrolls. The library is a treasure trove of knowledge about the supernatural magic and the town's history. Only a few know of its existence, and fewer still have dared to enter. The hidden library reminds us that knowledge is power and that some truths must be sought carefully. Closing the journey. The magic of place. As you settle deeper into your rest, imagine the land of Gravity Falls stretching out around you. The Mystery Shack, glowing softly under the stars. The ancient forest breathing quietly. The portal humming with unseen energy. Each place holds a story, a secret, a sliver of magic. Together they weave a tapestry of wonder that invites you to dream. So drift now, wrapped in the calm mystery of these places. Let the power and magic of Gravity Falls guide you into peaceful sleep.